And a good day, all of you. Sean Henderson Pierre, the Beverage Ramble and Chats, back again with you. Another Beverage Ramble edition. Today, we're looking at, from Sloop Brewing Company, Juice Bomb, Northeastern IPA. This comes in at 6.5% from Sloop. If I pronounce it correctly, Sloop Brewing or Slop Brewing. If I say Sloop, I think it's correct. The Sloop Juice Bomb, all the citrusy, juicy flavor of American hops. So this is a hazy, New England style hazy IPA, 6.5%, as I mentioned. 91 score, outstanding on Beer Advocate, and gets a 3.9 out of 5. Well, just round it off, make it a 4 out of 5 on Untappd. Brewery is based in Hopewell, Junction, New York, and Hampton, New Hampshire. So, again, Michael Komarov, if you're watching, I'm sure you are. And of course, all my friends up in the New England area, Jeffrey Lyons, New England Beer Reviews, Bumpy Road, Thomas Meadow 75, Eric Fallheimer, John and Neely. I'm sure they've had this beer. So let me know, fellows, how you think about it. And possibly Alex the Beer Master, I'm sure, has had this. So here's, as you can see, look like it is hazy. I'm not going to go into definition. I think you've seen all my videos about hazy IPAs and West Coast style IPAs, so I'm just going to leave it right there. Y'all can figure the shit out on your own. So, very hazy, a lot of beer up top here, as you can see. Pint-sized can, a bit much to say. I think $3.99. You know, probably would have been the same if I from a local brewery or brewery within the region. If I lived in Mobile, Alabama, or Norcross, Georgia, which is right outside of Atlanta, Norcross. So, you know, here in Jersey, you know, whatever. Prices are what they are. But anyway, it's a pint-sized can. Very warm day today. Not going to be out here long. Here at a park, won't say where. Get different of the citrus and the aroma right on the nose. I'm sure they're using tropical flavors in this. And a little grapefruit or maybe some lime, but more grapefruit and probably some tropical combination of fruits, different styles of tropical fruits. Tropical fruit cocktails, that they're in the can by Dole or some off-brand. You should probably see them at your grocery store. You have one of those. So, all right, let's have at it. Cheers. I know I used to, always used to say 6.5% beers were session beers. Well, that has changed as I've gotten older now. My different mindset, I'm sure. A mindset where I need to slow the freak down about some of the things I'm drinking and consuming. Must slow it down. Have to slow it down. Again, as I mentioned, there's a little grapefruit in there, a little sour tartness to this. It does have some tropical flavors in this. You know, citrus, orange, maybe a blood orange. I'm sure they're using that as well. One of them oranges that also can be not sweet, but also can be a little tart as well. The hops are there, but the hops are very, way over underneath. But there's a good amount of hops in this. $6.5, I'm not gonna say crushable. You don't want to do that, especially this time in the summertime. Don't want to do that. You want to make sure it is maybe one or two of these at least, and then call it. Session IPAs, I've kind of viewed them as like you view light beers now. You could, drink them like 4.5, 4%, and just keep knocking them back here and there. And also there's some non-alcoholic ones too, like from Athletic, but that's another topic, another day. I probably said this in the last video where I did a Hazy IPA. This kind of reminds me of the Sweetwater Hazy Session 1 that they have, which is 6.5, about the same ABV, identical. But it doesn't have it's citrusy, but I won't say it's not overly fruity. It's just not. I think it's very citrusy, tart, very little bitterness to this. You know, I mean, it's good, but what they describe as being juice bomb, I'm not getting that from this, but just not. So, at least from my perspective. Yeah, that has, but the Sweetwater one is more dry hopped. This one, I don't think it is, but maybe it is. Look, it's a good Hazy IPA. Again, price point for this, I'm sure, with a lot of these companies, and since now they're in both two locations, New Hampshire and New York, I'm guessing you're paying for the beer. I guess you're probably paying, if it was in a 4-pack 16-ounce can, you know, I would say you're probably paying maybe $12 for this. But I'm sure there are other Hazy IPAs that are half the price, like the Sweetwater one, and the one from Trader Joe's, the Bosun, probably less expensive, and you could get more bang for your buck out of that. But I'm sure the craft beer world and the craft drinkers will dismiss my comments on that. You know, say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, I don't know. The craft beer guys, they always seem to, you know, always dismiss things that are mass produced or things are readily available. They're just like, oh, I will never do that. But whatever, you know, whatever. Float your boat, whatever floats your boat, guys. That's what I say. But I mean, this is not bad, but that's pretty high of a score. You know, 91. Again, it's Beer Advocate rates it the way he wants to rate it, as Untapped, and I'm sure Rate Beer the same, and some of these other beer rating sites will see it that way as well. But good Hazy IPA. Not, again, very little bite, very little bitterness to it, not piney. It's very citrusy, very tart. Not the juice, you know, juicy as they say, which is maybe in a way a good thing. It's not overly juicy, which I don't. When it's too overly juicy, it's like, oh, let me take a pass on that. But I think it's solid. I ain't gonna go that high score of 89, but I'll say 8.8 for this. So this is a B+. You know, and it's not a bad score. But 91, outstanding. You know, whatever. You know, again, everybody rates it wherever they rate it. So anyway, but good job by Sloop Brewing, or Slop, but I'll say Sloop Brewing. Juice Bomb, Northeastern IPA, a New England style IPA from Sloop Brewing. Check it out at your local package store, liquor store, grocery store. If you're in the New Hampshire area, or if you're in the New York area, pick one up, try it. You definitely will enjoy this wonderful hazy New England style IPA. Very good, very refreshing. Goes down smooth. Sure you will like. John Henderson here of the Beverage Ramble and Chat. So you can keep on watching as always. Cheers, live, laugh, and love. Sloop, Northeast. Where I am, the Northeast. Wonderful IPA. Enjoy. Yeah.